Hi, for those of you who do not know me, I'm Renee, also known as Miss HD Mercury from the Sunshine Coast Pinup School. I'm a vintage stylist and a pinup photographer, and today I'm going to be going through a 1960s makeup guide, step-by-step tutorial on how to create this very wearable and sweet 1960s makeup look, so just keep watching. So for this 1960s look, I am going to be following a vintage 1960s makeup guide. This is one that you can get from Glamour Days. They do also have a package where you can get all of like the 1920s all the way up to the 60s makeup guides, which they are such awesome resources. I will leave a link to it below, and yes, I did get them all, but I've printed off for easy reference for this tutorial this step-by-step 1960s makeup guide. Now I'm going to be following this as best I can. Obviously I don't have all of the products that were used then that I have now, so I'm just going by what I have in my makeup kit, and I will be creating this 1960s makeup look that you saw from the introduction. Okay, so for the first step, we have apply foundation evenly over face and throat, including lips and eyelids. Let the foundation set and then go over the face with a tissue. So let's get started. I'm going to be using my just regular foundation. I use a Thin Lizzy. I like the way that those type of foundations feel on my skin, but you just use whatever you have. And I'm going to be applying it with my fingers and then using a brush to distribute it, I guess. So I like to build up my foundations. I just find it helps reduce cakiness. Okay, so all over, including lips and eyelids and throat. Okay, and then it says to let it set, and I'm going to clean my hands just with baby wipes. Best thing ever. Now it doesn't say anything about a concealer, it just says to use a foundation, and then it says to go over with the face with a tissue. So I'm assuming like blotting it, I'm not too sure. This is a makeup technique that I haven't actually done. So there's only just like a little bit coming off. I'm not rubbing it off, I guess you're just dabbing off the excess. And then I feel like that's just taken off the bit where I need it. It's always a bit of fun with these makeup guides. All right, I'm actually going to put just a little bit more on just to get that coverage that I need, because I have that really rosy skin where I get sunburn all the time, which is right here. I'm just putting on a bit more there. That's a bit better. Okay, the next step is a soft blue-gray eyeshadow is fanned over the lower half of the upper lid to the fold and then out towards the tip of the eyebrow, sorry. To get a subtle effect, put a little of the eyeshadow in the palm of a hand, rub smooth, and then apply to the lid with the index finger of the other hand. Now, earlier in this makeup guide, before it came to this step-by-step, it was mainly talking about crayon and like liquidy type eyeshadows. I don't have any of those. I have powder eyeshadows, so I don't think that last step is going to be relevant to me, but I'm going to find a soft blue gray eyeshadow. A soft blue gray. They did have little pictures with the numbers, so apparently that is a soft blue gray. It's a very dark gray, so I'm just going to have a look at what I have. So the gray that the blue, I don't have a blue gray, but I do have this dark blue, which I'm thinking if I layer that with maybe like a gray sort of color from this matte palette, maybe I might get that little blue gray dark color that they need. So I'm going to put this dark blue down first, and then hopefully maybe like get some of that brightness out by putting the gray over the top. So where does it say? Is fanned over the lower half of the upper lid into the fold and then out towards the tip of the eyebrow. Now I'm just going to use my regular eyeshadow brush. So the way that I interpret that is fanned over the lower half of the upper lid into the fold. So lower half of the upper lid and then into the fold. So fanned into the fold there and then up to the eyebrow. So that's what I'm going to go with. Ooh. So I'm picking up some of that blue. This is from Designer Makeup Tools. Like, look how vibrant that is. Ooh, let's go. Just fanning into the fold. And then out to the eyebrow there. Okay, so that's what I'm going with right now. It's very Cleopatra, and I'm going to use that same brush and pick up this sort of like, yeah, this sort of gray thing. That one's a bit more taupe. This one's a little bit more of that cool gray. So I'm going to pick up some of that on my brush, tap off the excess, and then see if that gets toned down that little bit. Okay, so that's fairly dark. I'm going to be, I reckon I might tone that down just a little bit on these corners where I've gone just a bit fat. And I'm going to just grab some of the like skin color from this palette and then just buff those edges just so they're not so dramatic, because this is meant to be a like an everyday sort of makeup look. It's not meant to be that full mod costumey makeup. There we go, that's toned that down just that little bit. So you still have that blue, but it's just not so thick on that side. There we go. Okay, so next step, what do we have? With a brow brush, I've got a brow brush here. Brush the brows up, then out toward the temple. Use pencils to draw in the brows. Keep the arch out a little from the middle of the eye and the brow tips slightly thinner and fairly high. Okay, so I'm just going to brush my brows. Now, I don't normally do much to my brows. I normally just use a, what's it called? Brow mascara, just to fill them in a little bit. And I don't have a lot of brow products other than that brow mascara. So I'm going to just use that. So just this, it's the Wonderful Brow by Rimmel, and it's just like a blonde, I can't see where the name is, light is what it says. So I'm just going to use that. It's just like a little mini little mascara wand. And I'm just going to use that to define my brows. Which is sort of using the similar motion of that brow brush, I guess, again, while applying product. Okay, so we have defined brows. What's next? Okay, line the eyes with black cream mascara, which in this picture, it just looks like a pot of liquid eyeliner. And it says use a fine sable brush, which number 8 is just a really fine brush. So in modern terms, that would just be my regular liquid eyeliner. So it says line the eyes with black cream mascara using a fine sable brush, liquid eyeliner, and keep the line in the roots and the upper lashes and very fine. So just going to do a very fine and subtle one. It doesn't actually say, it says to keep the line in the roots and the upper lashes and very fine, so it doesn't actually say to use a big winged eyeliner or a flick. So I'm going to actually see how much, which one is the one that is not broken. That one new. Oh, does anyone else have this issue? You just keep all of your things and then forget which is the one that was actually new. And I just put that other one back in. So, yeah, cool. So that's my little tick there. And I'm going to use this mirror down here to do a very fine line, as fine a line as I can. And I just hold my lashes down just because I have really flickety eyes. Okay, so it's a very fine line. Okay. Yeah, it's all right. I'm just gonna try to tidy it up just a little bit. Okay, so haven't done a big flick or anything. I've just followed my lash line. Okay, next step. Apply black mascara to the upper lashes only and brush the lashes to separate them, and then reapply mascara and brush the lashes again. Lashes should be evenly coated from root to tip. So I'm just going to use my mascara and do my very attractive applying mascara face. Okay, and it said brush the lashes to separate them and then reapply mascara. So I'm going to use this little end here just to try to separate them, which most modern mascara wands are pretty good at separating your lashes. Okay, and then I'm going to reapply, do another coat. So we've got mascara on, and the next step is line the mouth in a cherry red lip color to give fullness and contour. Follow the natural shape of the lip, fill with a lighter rose lipstick to give a roundness to the lip shape and blot the lips on tissue. And it's got two pictures. It's got pictures of, I don't know how accurate this coloring is from my printout, but it's got the cherry red and the rose. Now I don't have a rose color per se. This one's, it's a little bit more muted, so I think I'm gonna actually combine this with this like really bright color, and I'm gonna mix them together and see if I can get like a better rose color. Which one? That one went to there, that one went to there. But first I need to line the lips with a cherry lipstick. So I'm going to use this one here. This is just a good go-to red lipstick, and the color is actually cherry. So I'm going to use a lip brush, and I'm going to line the lips following the natural shape. So just picking up that lipstick. So I've lined my lips. I'm gonna go over it again, just so that I've got that nice red line, lip lined line. Okay, so that is the red lip liner with lipstick done. And now I'm going to get a different lip brush. Look at this. So handy. Going to get just another lip brush, and I think I'll just mix it on my hand, and I'll see how these two colors together go. So I've got my pink, which is Tea Rose by NYX. So I'm just going to put a bit on my hand there. And then this one is Femme, which is a little bit more of a brighter coral, and I'm gonna pop it right next to it. And then use my lip brush here to mix them together and see if I can get more of a rose pink. Yep, there we go. So you can see that's a bit more of a rose pink. So you don't need a whole bunch of lipsticks, just make colors. It's like painting. All right, so now I've got that there. Hopefully I've got enough product of that, and I'm going to use this rose pink to fill in my lips. Huh, look at that. That's blended so lovely. That is actually really cute. Huh. So that is using that red as the lip liner and then combining two colors together to get a rose, and that is actually a really lovely lip color. Very 60s, I love it. All right, so now I've got a massive mess here. Little trick. And I'm just gonna remove this so I don't get lipstick everywhere. Make sure there's none on my touche. And then it says to blot with a tissue. Cool, pretty happy with that. That's a really cute lip color. Okay, next step. Where are we? Okay, so this step I'm probably going to skip. Maybe it says dark foundation can be used to shape the face. Blend the shading in the broad area toward the outside of the face and be sure shading fades naturally to the base makeup. I may just use instead of a dark foundation, I do have like a bronzing powder. So I'm going to very subtly do that. I don't bronze my skin normally, but I've just got this little one here that I can use for contour. And I'm going to just I'll probably use this actual foundation brush just so I can pat it in, and then I'll use my actual shadow brush to blend it out. So I've got like a two-tone here. I guess I'll pick up the darker one, and then it says to do it on the outside of your face. So let's just put a little bit of here and then blend it properly. There we go, no major contouring, just that little bit of shadow bringing back to the face. And then powder is lightly patted over the whole face, including the eyes and mouth. So I believe this is including the eyes and mouth, so that would be a way to mattify your lipstick and keep it long wearing. So I am going to do that. However, I do not have a brush pad thing, so I'm just going to be using my regular powder brush. So it says to go over the whole face, including the eyes and mouth. All right, so this is just my regular powder. And it's like one of these things. I don't actually know how you're meant to use this. Please somebody let me know, but I like tip it into the lid and get just what I need for like what I need for that day. I don't know if you're meant to use it any other way, but that's how I use those types of powders. Yes. Okay, so this is gonna go against what I'm used to. All over the face, including eyes and lips. You'd want to make sure that your mascara is dry. All right, the next step says, then go over the face with a damp sponge so as not to disturb the makeup. A makeup sponge is helpful in getting a smooth effect when you apply foundation and shading to soften the complexion after powdering. So I'm going to do that. I'm a bit scared I'm gonna like remove my makeup. I've just got a little makeup sponge here and I'm gonna dampen that. But I guess it just gives that little dewy complexion back. I'm not too sure. All right. I'm so scared I'm gonna ruin my makeup right now. All right, so I've got a damp sponge and it says to go over the whole face lightly. So I'm gonna be as light as possible. Well, it feels nice. I don't think I've removed too much of my makeup, but that feels nice. It just gets rid of that really fine powder feel, I guess, on your skin. Okay, now we're nearly at the end. We're like here. Now it says put a little bright green eyeshadow on the edge of the upper lid and make light dots with brown brow pencil below the eye to give the effect of a lash line. So that's really interesting, and that's what I love about these things is that if you remember, I'll find the photo of a famous photo of Twiggy doing her makeup, and she did these really harsh lines, and this one is telling you just to do little dots. So we'll see what type of effect that is. I've never actually tried this, remember, this is the first time I'm doing my makeup like this. But first I need to find a bright green eyeshadow, which I think, yep, I would call probably that one a bright green. And it says to apply on the edge of the upper lid. On the edge of the upper lid, so there. And I'm going to just gently use my finger. So I'm just patting that color in. Very subtle, but that has actually added a lot more color and depth. I don't know, I can see that from here. I don't know if you can see that. to that eye makeup look, which that's fun. And now it says to use your brow pencil, brown brow pencil. Now I have exaggerate eye definer in brown, so it's just like an eyeliner in brown, so that is what I'm going to use. And it says to make light dots with brown brow pencil below the eyes to give the effect of a lash line. So let's just see how, doing a couple of little testers on my hand just to see what sort of pressure I need to get the pigment and the size of the dot. So it doesn't say how many dots, it just says to do some dots. So can you tell I blinked on that edge one? Oh, that's actually a really cool technique. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, let's go. Okay, that is such a pretty subtle 1960s eye makeup look without it being that too over dramatic Halloween costume style, and just dotting that pencil underneath the eyes is giving that defined, cute, flirty look that you know from the 1960s without it being that too dramatic look. And I really love that. I don't know if you can see, but that is really cute. All right, now it says the last step is tone the brows with light penciling, which we've kind of already done. I'm not too sure why they're asking that again. And lightly apply dry rouge to give a gentle glow to the face. So rouge is just a blush. So I'm just going to go in with a blush. So this is just a mosaic one I've had for too many years. And in this makeup guide, they did have a thing on applying rouge to the lips, and it said to apply up to the hairline. So that is what I'm doing to apply a gentle glow to the face. Okay. And I think the makeup look is done. All right, I really enjoyed that. Thank you for coming along on the ride for that. There are so many amazing vintage makeup guides and little techniques that you don't normally do anymore. Like I'm going to actually be like keeping this dotting eyeliner underneath the eye for 60s look. I love it. I love the combination of two different lip colors, and yeah, actually 3 different because I had to combine 2 to get that color. But yeah, this is a classic 1960s makeup look, and I will get in close so you can see. If you can see those little dots underneath there, is just adding that definition, which I have tried to use mascara before to do that, but I have really long lashes and it was just a bit too much. But it just adds that really nice, cute thing. We've got that green and that grey blue eyeshadow, and we have a really nice wearable 1960s makeup look. Now, if you would like to stick around, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and I will be doing a 1960s beehive hack that I have with my long hair, and make sure you stick around for that next week. And thank you. Let me know if you've tried any of these makeup techniques, and I will leave the link to all of those makeup guides that you can get from Glamour Days. And while you're on there, look at that website. It is an amazing resource, so entertaining, so many good videos and guides on there. So thank you for coming along on this ride with me, and I will see you next time with beehive hair next week. Remember, come back.